Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. I wasn't intending to do a video in a while, but I just got this email this morning from somebody asking about, I have $30 million to be deployed. What is the ROI being offered? Now, the history of this email is from somebody who's asking me a bunch of questions, and it's pretty well, I would think, is pretty driven to learn. They have now raised capital of this amount. I get these a lot, probably one a month. These numbers are in comparison with other amounts from capital allocators, capital providers that are funded by banks, pension funds, and that's what they do. And they look for alternative strategies and shops like myself that are able to take this cash and deploy it into our environment and into our trading system, and hopefully they are looking for some sort of return. So you're probably asking, what was the answer? Well, to be honest, at this point I always tell people, just keep your money in an S&P 500 ETF. If you can't beat that, you should not be in business of trading and so on and so forth. And if you really want the best way and the smartest way to make money, and the safest way, is just to put money into an ETF, honestly, and just let it sit there. Let the returns of NASDAQ or the S&P 500 alone make money for you. Because like just last year alone, what brought in a 26% return. And at what risk did you go out and trying to do all these fancy strategies and automated this, automated that, or even discretionary? Those are the benchmarks in my mind that you should be beating. If you're not beating that, you're not gaining any form of alpha. So as I said, generally I do get these kind of offers. I got one guy who personally tells me he's turning away anywhere from $10 to $20 million a month. Just from the connections he has as being a very well successful hedge fund manager in Chicago, and he's just that well connected. So he's doing his own thing. He's very happy. You get people like Ernie Chan's the same, they're doing quite well on their own. So why do they need to work at banks? A good example, Goldman Sachs. Honestly, why would you want to work at a Goldman Sachs unless you want to collect a nice paycheck and start taking stomach pills and stuff from the stress and the pressure of the job, and at the same time being beholden on your employer, let's say Goldman Sachs, telling you what you can trade, how you can trade, only through our infrastructure, nowhere else. Has to go through a compliance department. Honestly, what kind of existence is that as a so-called trader? To me, I would never do that. I've had lots of offerings when I worked at various banks here in Toronto and the CBB-IB. I did some consulting, a very short-term consulting gig. And to be honest, it just didn't really do anything for me. So that's why I like doing what I'm doing, staying poor somewhat and learning. So that brings me to a small little agenda in this video I want to talk about. Let's talk about track record. To me, track record, what's really important is about just the content I put out. I've put out tons of videos, and to be honest, I've got better things to do with my time. Honestly, I really just want to focus on what I'm learning. I'd rather be poor. I'm happier at that. Thank you very much. But through the 3.5 years I've been doing this website, I've gotten many offers like this. I get consulting gigs from well-off people, from people that are part of family offices, and if you're not a trader and you don't know what a family office is, dear oh dear, you're in trouble. Just so everybody knows, hedge funds are doing crap. A lot of pension funds are doing crap. Where the real money action is in a family office. So we're talking maybe 2 or 3, 4 or 5 families, very well-off families, banded together and brought together a bunch of private companies or their own company with their own staff that manages their own money. And you know what? No regular in their mind can regulate that, because it's their own money, and they're not capital raising and taking on external capital, so they avoid all that type of regulation and stuff. And a lot of it is in Switzerland, where the real true free last entity out there that's not regulated to death are in Switzerland. That's why I definitely want to go to Switzerland. So let's talk about just myself. I don't want to be, pounding my chest here, but this is just as a way to summarize and aggregate all the detractors I'm going to showcase in this video. So, okay, first of all, I've had people from energy companies, trading, want me to help them build trading desks. I've had trading heads of large trading operations. A couple actually out of Texas. Don't ask me why. Again, that's probably just because of lack of regulation out there. I don't know. Anyways, this company wanted me to help build a trading desk. Of course, I say no. I kind of inquire about it, but it doesn't go any further for whatever reason. But whatever the result, doesn't matter. They came to me, and that's what matters. That's what's important to me. And I've gotten lots of gigs. I just got to a point where I just said, sorry, I don't consult. I don't care. The money does not interest me. Honestly, to this person that just sent me this, sorry, dude, I'm not interested in your capital and what you're doing with it. There's a lot of guys out there that come to me with those type of stories. Like I said, like we've talked about the capital providers, the consulting gigs, I don't do any of that stuff. What I do like to see is I've had one guy, again, Switzerland, went into a little capital raising. I don't know if it's his own capital or what. He raised about 150,000 euro or Swiss franc, which is kind of close to on par with me in US dollars or Canadian dollars. In December, he raised up to about 150,000, and then in May, he sent me his track record, and he tripled his money. He did quite well. He was not in equities; he was more commodity and stuff with his own algorithms and stuff. So you can do quite well. So he returned 300% return within, say, 5-6 months, which is pretty impressive. And you know that's not BS. Could this be BS? I don't know. There's a lot of people that are that. I do know some people that are not BS. I actually have been traveling, meeting people, and going, wow, dude, that's not what you put out to be. Sorry, and go from there. So again, yeah, there's a lot of this BS. This email is not BS. From who it is, I don't know, and whatever. But I'm not really interested in this. But for this particular person, again, just put your money into an S&P 500 ETF. You'll do fine just by doing that. I wouldn't do it now because it will probably tank. But there was a time and a place for that as well. Anyway, so let's talk about this now. For me, passion is where I'm at. This is what got me to where I am today with these type of claims and stuff. I don't worry about having to put out photos and videos of me in Lamborghinis and helicopter rides to Monaco and I'm special, look at me. What I rely on, where people can make their own decision, is based upon my content and what I put out. Like you've heard me go on about 600 videos that I put out on my YouTube. The amount of postings I put out on my blog at quantlabs.net/blog, as well as the attempts to get a forum going, community, which we have. But a lot of people just are pretty anonymous in this business, and they don't want to be out in the public domain asking questions. So they come to me directly, and sometimes I will repost, sometimes I don't, just for confidentiality. So I don't really rely on that sort of stuff, on having a sizzle to sell. I'd rather sell the steak and let people determine based on my content alone, my email list, and so on and so forth. I don't pressure people into buying what I have. People can make up their own minds on their own. and if they think it's worthy or not to be part of. That's all I can say. So again, the key to it all is passion. I mean, that's where I'm at today because of that inner drive. People see that and want to see me succeed. I'm going to show you some examples of people trying to hold me back or try to slag me or whatever. You know, that's not going to stop me from being successful at some point. I just want to be able to be transparent, help people out. If I make mistakes, and there's loads of times I have put out stuff that I'm very erroneous on, and I'll repost it, correct it, or whatever, and let, again, people judge what they want. And you know, as you get bigger, you're going to get more and more haters and trolls and stuff. I'm going to show you an example in a minute and how I deal with that. And I've decided from this point on, I don't have the time or the place for it anymore. I've just decided I'm going to take the more mature approach on it and just take the high road. So that's passion, that's credibility. Okay, so with that in mind, because I like, and a lot of people agree that they want to run their own shop, their own business doing trading, and maybe I'm more of a mouthpiece on it, but I always come back to my friend Ernie Chan, who really just really honestly has really turned on the little light bulb in my head, and 3.5 years later we're here and I'm able to do this, and people come to me and say I'm the inspiration for doing all this stuff to educate people about true trading using quant, automated trading, potentially high frequency trading. I always say potential, not true. You can do high frequency trading with this stuff, and again, there's this idiot I'll show you who's been trying to attack me on that. Okay, so we've talked about passion and credibility, where I'm at. Now, for those that may or may not have known, yes, this is Anton Corral. I'm not going to go harping on about it, but look at the guy's eyes, okay? I have no idea when this video, okay, so this is like 3 years ago, this video. Look at his eyes. Either he was in the back of a dark alley getting the hell punched out of and got black eyes, or this is just a haggard man under pressure who's very emotional, who's very hot-headed, and these are the effects of that. His little, here's another one. He just looks awful, and I don't think he's that old. He just, like, Jesus, man, like you need to see a doctor right away, because he could be on a path to internal explosion from a heart attack or a stroke or something if he doesn't take care of himself. But he does look good. I mean, he looks slick, and we're just going to leave it at that. So with that little story I've done, and yes, he has visited my site and given me his opinion. Thank you very much. I feel much better now. Actually, I feel better now about this. But this leads me to our friend John, and I love this. I gave him his little posting on just to spew on and on about, and this quickly ended. I've always challenged people on this, and I'll show you how I do it. But again, I'm not going to do this anymore. This is why I'm making this video and just saying, you know what, you're a troll, dude, and deal with it. Thank you for Paul Cottrell for opening my eyes about Anonymous and the true history of the term internet troll. And this guy easily falls into it. Just goes on and on about how I cannot, something to do with, goes on about brokers and interactive brokers, and he went on about, what else was there, about fix and dealing with APIs and not working with APIs. And this guy's literally, I know who he is. His name's Tariq. He's most likely out of New York City. We get people like this all the time who are just morons that just got a bone to pick with what I do. I think this guy lives a long and lonely and miserable life of, I hate to say it, a failure. And he's just spewing about stuff, and it just goes to show what he's about. Anyway, so a good example of this where he goes on about saying I'm lazy and blah, and of course I try to engage in dialogue with him, and the funny thing about this is he's going on about brokers, and I keep saying, who cares about brokers? How does that make you a more profitable trader? In my mind, it doesn't. And I've shown this to a few people, and they just can't stop laughing about it. Anyways, he's going on about fix and stuff. So let me just show you my YouTube channel about this guy. So if I go to my YouTube channel. I'm just, this is now just going up against him. And my, yep, me spieling, whatever. So there's Quick Fix, you know, what I've looked at, Quick Fix, and look at the amount of offerings I've done on Fix and Fix Adapter, saying that I don't know what I've done on Fix, and here's some demos of it working, and blah 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 blah. I don't need to go on about that anymore, but just so he understands, yeah, I do work with, but it's just the bigger picture is he's just a moron. Just other morons will attack you without really looking at the big picture and what I do and what I have done, and just doesn't know what he's talking about. So anyways, at the end of the way, you know, this is how you shut the little prick up. You know, he attacks the age. He attacked a friend of mine that I talked to, and he doesn't even know the guy, so you can read it on your own. So he attacks the guy. I said, no, attack me, dude. So he attacks me on my age. He's like, you know, these kind of people are desperate. You know, like what does my age got to do with who I am and what I do? Honestly, and then the best part is, you know, I said, you know, attacking someone's age does not make you smarter. Taking up challenges is what I do now. Is coming on to my live webinar. I got one next Tuesday coming up on the 15th of July, and I'm trying to get him to come out, just challenge him. So the next day, I hear no response from the little guy. So the next day I said, where are you? Like, there's no response. So what I want him to do is just to basically, you know, you're going to come out here like a big little man that he is fine. And this is directed at any person that we call him a kid behind a keyboard. You know, the types that stay at home in mommy's basement, have no social life, that are miserable, and just type away on a keyboard, and they just don't know who they. We don't know who they are. We don't know who they are. We don't know their credibility. So there's no point to it. So anyways, so I challenge him. I say, yo, dude, man, come on out to the webinar. Let's see what he's got. But I want him to put his face on camera, specifically on that, because the equivalent is he's hiding under mommy's skirt, and his mommy's skirt equivalent is his employer. He's worried about his reputation. Now, if you can't put your reputation on the line, like, who are you? Like, I don't know who you are. So, you know, that challenge is put out to him. I get this time and time again, and it just stops. He just runs away like a little girl and doesn't know what to say anymore. So maybe this video may evoke some emotion or somebody else. But going back to this, you know, yeah, even if I fail, who cares? So what? It's this passion that gets me places. And you know what? I love to be able to fail. And I've spoken to many people about this. The passion is where you get in life. Who cares if you fail or not? I would rather be on my deathbed knowing I've tried to help people with the amount of stuff I put out for free in my emails. That alone, I'm hoping, helps people. That brings credibility. And again, yeah, I don't mind being poor. I don't mind having small audiences. It just enables people to be able to connect with me without having to be overwhelmed by thousands and thousands of people and think I'm special. And then let alone all these consulting gigs and capital providers. I mean, that I don't talk about that. It's just, I don't have to brag about it. And again, just this one number alone, just this one potential offering, you know, $30 million. Like, I bet you $1 million combined between guys like Tim Sykes and Anton Krell. Remember this guy, Mr. Haggard here. Yo, man, like have you ever worked with money like that before? Oh yes, this guy has. Yeah. Thank you. We appreciate you watching your Bloomberg and making yourself look special by this so-called trader meeting. You know, I could do these every day too, by me consolidating what I read on Morningstar and Bloomberg. And best part is people are paying thousands of dollars to be enamored by this guy. Whatever. But back to this. Yeah, I just don't want to end up like this guy. I don't want to have to rely on credibility of working at Goldman Sachs. I don't want to rely on him being on some TV show, and good for him. Honestly, I think that's good. That makes you great. when you come to the marketplace, you got to be able to bring it. And as one of my insiders said quite gracefully yesterday, what he said was, if you have not built a complete end-to-end hedge fund or a complete end-to-end, let's say, family office, where you have a set of algorithms or trading strategies that are profitable, you have not built your own trading platform and own your own infrastructure, let alone going through your own capital raising mode, this guy is not a trader. This guy, like Tim Sykes and even this bonehead that's collecting paychecks, are nobodies. I'm a nobody. But when you get people that are able to build hedge funds, know the technology inside out, know the math inside out, know the business inside out, and not only that, but have the contacts to raise capital, and you start, let's say, a hedge fund, your own equivalent prop shop, yeah, you've done well. But to be really successful, truly successful, are the ones that are profiting with all those steps that they go through. So again, we're talking building your own technical infrastructure. You know, you're not buying it, you're not leasing it, you're not going to some Joe Blow to hire. Okay, this I'm pretty comfortable with. Then we get into strategy and or algorithm trading, or for trading. That's number 2. That's what I'm going through right now. I'm doing all the Khan Academy. Am I going to be successful at it? Maybe, maybe not. Now, then we get into capital capital raising, right? And these are your 3 steps, okay? And that gives you the equivalent of a hedge fund, prop shop, okay? What's the other one? You become a prop shop, or maybe even a family office if you're raising capital from a well-off family. Okay, so you get to this level, you're step 1, really. Okay, really, you are a true trader. These 2 right here, the first 2 steps. Okay, these 2 steps here, this and this make you a researcher and a researcher. Okay, that's part of trading. Okay. Yes, you can get guys like this who are traders and so-called traders and maybe done well in certain light, but at the end of it, he's a salesman. Let's leave it at that. Now, again, you're this, you're a researcher. Then you get into maybe a capital raising, and maybe you don't. But here, this is investment, man. This is like people believe in you, or they. Then you become somewhat an investor. Maybe you have millions of dollars, like this guy who sent this to me. Maybe he's got millions of dollars, so that makes him an investor. Okay, so there's trading like this dude here. Then you have these guys who are the researchers, and yeah, you can buy and lease and use some open source project to build your own technical trading infrastructure. But this is the key. This is the goose that lays the golden egg. Okay, this guy, I don't give a crap. His little set of trinkets he's selling does not make him a trader, because guess what? You better be able to develop your own algorithms and strategies. Okay, on your own. Okay, you're innovating new things. That's a true trader. A guy who can build his own technology, that's a guy who knows the technical end. These are important steps. And you can put your own money into it, yeah, and you can still be part of that investment. But you need to complete all 3 steps to become this, to become a true / investor, a true / hedge fund. And again, we have not talked about things like risk management, analysis for data acquisition, so on and so forth. Okay, like the business. Let's leave it at that. So there's a lot of other areas that I don't even focus on really. I got this in place, learning this to get that in place. The risk management, we got ideas and that. So these guys, unfortunately, are just giving you a little piece of it. But to get to this point, you got to have all of these. And if you really want to be a superstar, you're able to go out and capital raise and showcase what you can do. I don't know. I'm far off from a lot of these steps, and I'm always evolving and learning. But just because this came in does not make me a superstar. Buying this guy's product or Tim Sykes or whoever does not make me a superstar trader. Yeah, it can make me some money. But I also know some successful people that are hurting right now because they're volatility traders and there's no volatility. That could be years from now. That could be for years and years. Volatility could be low. So how and why are they suffering? Why? Because they only bank on one strategy. Same with this guy. So there you go. Again, let me just sum it up. When you get these kind of offerings or these kind of pitches, sorry, dude, I've already gone on about that. It doesn't mean anything, honestly. You've got to be able to go through all these 3 steps to truly be successful and to be truly flying around in helicopters like this guy. Now let's talk about these guys. Now, you know what? If people are really smart, all they have to do is just take his idea, automate it, and put it out there and open source it. Unfortunately for him, this is probably why he looks the way he does, because he's got one thing, one product out there with his little mentoring and stuff, and that's probably why he looks the way he does. Because he doesn't sleep well at night, and it's guys out there like sharks that could take him out by open sourcing his idea and providing source code and whatnot, and he's dead. And the smart people that understand that technology wouldn't have to buy his stuff. So I sleep better at night because we got more than that. You know, I could go on about our little event that we got coming up on Tuesday I mentioned earlier, but I'm not. You know, if you're part of it, you know about it. But that's going to be a more frequent basis. So I'm not even selling anything in this video. That's how much you don't really need me. But if you do, you know where to go. So we'll leave it at that, and hopefully some people will take away some very important lessons. Regardless if you're successful or not, regardless if you have the whole enchilada down at these levels, this stuff ain't easy. This stuff is not about push button technology. This stuff is not about 1, 2, or 3 steps and buying a little product that will make you a better trader. It's nothing like that. When the markets turn, when things go against you, what you just bought is going to sink you fast. And if you are in open positions, large, like all in, like in casino, you'll be wiped out. And where did that $3 get you? Maybe in a hospital or something. From a health point of view, I don't know. I don't really care. But it's these people that are part of my clan that I care about, that are successful. You know, you can be part of this, like this guy is part of. He probably bounces around from bottom feeding prop shops that probably don't make any money, for all I know. But I know some of these guys are successful at what they do. I talk to them almost every day. And the reason these guys are successful is because they follow these steps. They've implemented stuff that works, and they're well versed and well diverse enough to have various algorithms and strategies, quant-based, technical, and fundamental for all I know. But they're well versed enough to handle whatever market conditions come down the pipes, and they're constantly learning. So this right here is the -- priority. This means nothing. This gets you because you have this. It's number 2, because you have algorithms that work and people want it. So that's when you don't even have to go into capital raising, because people come to you. And of course you gotta have your risk management in place and your understanding of the business and all the industry news stuff that that I follow. So outside all that, who cares? See, I'm not live. I'm not raw. I don't rehearse this stuff. So at the end of it, I think these are important steps. To be honest, this does not make you a better trader. It can make you a better trader for a little while, but in the long run, it doesn't mean diddly. And the technology and the quant and all that, it's got people scared, because that's the new stuff that's taking over in the capital markets, and it's wiping a lot of people out. And People are trying to regulate it. You can't stop it. It's here. I've been wiped out by technology numerous times, and I just got to a point where I embrace it. And you gotta know how to code, and that I can do. This I'm learning. This I get all the time, but I don't take it. I don't accept it until I'm at this point where I have a story to tell, a track record, and maybe I might take on capital. I don't know, but we got other people. I don't even talk about my other operation. We are actively trading, and we're doing really good at it. And we don't talk about it. I don't need to talk about it because it's like asking a person, like a female, so who'd you bang last night? You know, somebody comes to me, what about your track record? It's none of your business. It's not your, who cares? Credibility don't mean diddly. Again, credibility is what I provide online, through my website, and through my YouTube channel, and all my other social marketing and blah 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 blah. So that's what matters. And I let people. I don't use any heavy selling techniques like affiliate marketing and crap like that. So that's where we're at. I try to be real. You come to me directly, and that's it. Hopefully, this video, enough ranting, which I'm well known for, my world famous typing and blah blah blah. I'm hoping some people take away from this. To those that believe in what I'm doing, those are the people I want to see succeed. Whatever I can do to help you succeed. Thank you very much for being part of what I do. I put out some inspirational stuff for people in the last couple of weeks that people have been really, really gravitating to. But believe me, we'll get there. And jack-offs like this, sorry dude, you're going to have a heart attack. Dear John, guys, again, I've gone on about enough. But let's take the high road from here on out. Just focus on positive messages and help people and get them to this level. And for those that don't believe in it, that's fine. When the markets turn and if you're not doing well, you can always come back. Okay. Maybe we may not be around. Who knows? All this stuff could go poof and disappear, and so on and so forth. But anyways, enough of that. Let's move on to bigger and better things. And thank you very much for being loyal to all those. A lot of people have been responding amazingly. The traffic levels are just been, from my point of view, off the hook. People, it's a huge momentum now. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'm not going to sell stuff to you through this video. That's it. I'm who I am. All right. Talk to you later. Have a good day, and maybe you may look forward to my next video. I could be off my rock for all I know. Who knows? It's fun though what I do. See ya.